Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you follow the Central League even a little bit, you already know the active player draft has become the Hanshin Tigers' annual talent fire sale. They just keep developing arms faster than they can use them, and every December, a few really good pitchers end up wearing a different uniform the next year because there simply aren't enough innings to go around. Today, we're looking at 10 notable pitchers who should be available in this year's draft, and honestly, it feels like half the list could be wearing the black and yellow right now if the roster math worked out differently. First, quick refresher for anyone new, the active player draft lets every team protect 34 players, plus all the young guys still on developmental contracts, and everyone else who's been on the 70-man roster for at least 2 years is fair game. 2 rounds, every team has to put at least one guy in, and you can't block a pick. For Hanshin, that means even with Saiki, Murakami, and the big foreign arms eating innings, someone good is getting left out. Let's start with the name that's going to cause the biggest riot among Tigers fans if he actually gets taken, Shoki Murakami. Wait, no, not that Murakami, the other one, the 25-year-old righty who touched 157 kilometers in the bullpen this fall and still somehow only threw 42 innings this season. The fastball rides, the splitter has late bite, and he's already shown he can miss bats at the Ichigun level. But with Aoyagi, Otake, and the veterans locked into the rotation, he's the exact kind of high-upside arm that gets exposed every year. If Hiroshima or Yakult grab him, we're going to be talking about theft for the next 5 years. Next, keep an eye on Yuta Nakamura, another Hanshin right-hander who quietly put up a sub-3 ERA in relief but has mid-rotation stuff when he starts. 4 pitches, good command, still only 26, and he's been blocked by the same depth chart that's won back-to-back Japan series. The guy who took him could slide him right into the back of a rotation and watch him eat 150 innings tomorrow. And then there's Ren Kajiya, the lefty who dominated Nigun all season with that filthy curveball. He's 24, throws 150, and the only reason he hasn't had a real shot yet is because Itohara and the other lefties ahead of him refuse to get hurt or pitch badly. Kajiya is the classic Hanshin problem child. Too good for the farm, not quite enough openings up top. Moving away from the Tigers for a second, Yakult is almost certainly going to leave Miguel Yaima exposed again. Yes, the same Yaima who throws 98 with a plus slider and somehow still can't crack that bullpen because Ishiyama, McGuff, and Taguchi are all still there. At this point, it feels like Yakult is daring someone to take him so they can finally stop feeling guilty about wasting his talent. Chunichi will probably put one of their surplus starters on the board, and the name I keep hearing is Keisuke Tanimoto. Low slot righty, heavy sinker slider combo, ground ball machine who would look perfect in Yokohama's big park. The Dragons just signed too many foreign arms again, and someone has to go. Hiroshima usually plays it safe, but word is Kento Ishida might finally be available. Mid-90s heat from the left side, sharp curve, and he's been stuck behind Morishita, Togo, and the veterans forever. If he lands in Hanshin, ironically, people will lose their minds. From the Giants side, keep an eye on Hayato Horichi. The 27-year-old who can start or relieve, sits 94 to 96, and has that wipeout slider when his arm slot cooperates. Yomiuri's rotation is set for the next decade, so he's the exact kind of solid big league arm that falls through the cracks on a stacked team. DeNA might expose Yuki Matsui, not the Cardinals one, the other Yuki Matsui, the righty with the nasty splitter who touched 155 this year but can't find a consistent role behind Imanaga's successor and the new imports. And finally, 2 more quick Hanshin names that hurt to even say out loud. Masashi Ito, who's basically a right-handed version of Iwazaki with better velocity now, and Haruto Takahashi, the former first-rounder who's healthy again and pumping 153 with a splitter that just falls off the table. Both are former high picks who got buried by the sheer volume of talent ahead of them. So here's the big question. Which team has the scouting department and the roster space to turn one of these guys into their next frontline starter? Because every year we see it happen. Kaito Muramoto went from Hanshin's Nigun to SoftBank's setup man in one offseason. Yariel Rodriguez was a Chunichi afterthought until he wasn't. The active player draft looks small on paper, but it keeps producing legitimate impact arms, and this year feels deeper than ever on the mound. My bold prediction? At least one pitcher from this list throws 180 innings and finishes top 5 in ERA in his new uniform by 2027. And Tigers fans will complain about it every single day until then, because that's just what happens when you're unlucky enough to have the best pitching development pipeline in the league. Let me know in the comments which name scares you the most if you're a Hanshin fan, or which one you're praying your team grabs if you root for literally anyone else. Hit the like button if you think the active player draft is the most underrated event on the NPB calendar, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.